guys, welcome back to another video. It's going to be a walkthrough tutorial on difficult hair. I have cut his hair a few times and it is a bit of a pig to do, so let's crack on and I'll talk you through the steps a bit at a time. So as you can see, we're using the LOPRO FX in this haircut with the premium guards from BABYLISS, and we're just going to do a bit of debulking here just to get rid of any of the longer hair, so when it comes to putting the bald guideline in, it just makes it a lot easier to see. So as I'm going up, I'm just flicking away there, trying not to make it too harsh. So the next step is setting in the skin line, and I'm just doing the close taper, and as I go up I'm just going to flick out slightly just so it doesn't make it too harsh. I am going to focus just on this side of the head just purely because of the room and everything, but I am going to work on a different way of doing the videos in future just to try and make it look a little bit more interesting. So like I say, in this video I am using the BABYLISS LOPRO FX. I have used it a fair bit and I've got to say I am actually really liking it. I'm still for Gamma, I still prefer my Boosted and the Rebel and the Apex, but it is a great clipper. So now we're setting in our next guideline, and this is with the open taper. So we're going to just go around the head and we're going to have about half an inch or just over half an inch, and again as we go up with the clipper we're just going to a slight little flick out, and it just leaves a little bit more of a softer finish there, so it's not as hard to get out in the next stage of the cut. Also, as you're working towards the back, you can go up a little bit higher because you do have a lot more room to work with as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just work down and stay slightly under each time through the clicks. This is just going to give a really nice transition from the open down to the closed taper, and because I've flicked out on the initial guidelines it shouldn't be as hard to get out. So now we're moving on to our next guide, which is the one guard, fully open with the lever, and we're just going to make the next guideline another half an inch or so, and we're just going to work all the way around the head, and we're going to do the same steps as we did with the open and closed taper. So it's just a case of working around the head and then moving down through the clicks one at a time until we're fully closed. It will leave a residual line at the bottom, but we'll get to that once we finish this step. So this is what I mentioned before about getting rid of that weight line there from the one guard. So we've put the half guard on and the lever's halfway open, and we're just going to work into that, the line from the one guard. We'll move up halfway, and what we'll do is we'll go around the head, and as we're working around that, if we do see that it isn't removing it, we can go down a click and stay a little bit further down and all the way through to the bottom click, and that should erase that really nicely. You can still see a little bit, but it is going. It's just trusting the process of what you're doing, and it's a proven technique this. I've learned this off Mr. Eddie Barber at the YouTube Barber Academy, and I will leave a link down below so you can go follow him as well, because his work is absolutely brilliant and it's helped me so much to get to where I am today. We're going to move on to clipper over comb now. I do like to have the lever halfway open. I find that it gives it a bit softer finish, and it is a little bit more forgiving as well. Now we're going to get the blending in here from the clipper over comb. So what we're going to do is we put the 1.5 guard on, we're going to fully close the lever, and where we did the clipper over comb, we're just going to go into there and we're just going to flick away just as we're going up. It doesn't look like I'm flicking, but I am actually just giving it a little bit of a flick out there, and I just find that this helps it just to blend in there a little bit easier. So now we're going on to the shear work. Like always, I put the Mohawk guideline in, that becomes your stationary guideline, and then I just work from front to back and connect it in with that initial guideline to get the length what I want for the full haircut. Just work back, move on to the next section and move back, and just repeat the process until I've put the whole head. And then what I do then, I go and I do a little bit of cross-checking, so going in from the side, just make sure that I haven't missed anything and make sure that it's a nice level haircut on top. Also, the shears that I'm using are the shear police ERGO rotation with the swivel thumb. If you're interested in these, I will leave a link down below for shearpolice.com. If you use code RUSTY10, this will get you a 10% discount. Going to move on to the blending shear work now. I'm using the Wire Spark 332 comb and I use the wide teeth. Again, it's just nice and forgiving, and it gives it a really nice soft finish when you're going through using the blending shears. I also find that it's a bit more forgiving when you're using the thin part of the comb. Sometimes you can feel like you're taking way too much off, and you don't want to undo any of the good work that you've already done. So I would always recommend doing that. You know, that's just a little tip what I would give. So what I would normally do in most of my videos and most of my haircuts, I would bald out at the beginning and then I would put the open taper in. But I did all that first, and I thought I'd try something a bit different this time and bald out at the end of the haircut. And I found that it worked out really nice actually, and it left a really nice finish. So I'm using the Bronze Series 7. You can pick these up quite cheap now. It is the new one as well, it's not the old style one. But to take it a little bit closer, I go in now with the wireless Prodigy from STYLECRAFT Gamma. If you do need any of the products from Gamma STYLECRAFT, you can use my code Rusty10 and that'll get you a 10% discount. So if you've liked this video, remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all the good stuff. Get down in the comments, rate my cut, see what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.